indicated that visibility is very important when we talk about networking. So how do we achieve visibility? So at the center, what we have tried to do is to use our various social handles, and then so we have a website where we try to populate it with the programs we do, the activities we engage in. We also have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter account, and other social handles that inform the community and the wider world about what we do. We also work with other sections of the university, especially the documentation section. This is a section that is responsible for keeping records of all activities at the university and mostly documenting pictorial evidence of things that we do. So anytime we have a program, we have them, they come over and they take a record of what we do, and then this is populated on the university's website and then in other documents as well. We also work with the local TV station on the university campus, and then the radio station. We have an FM station on the campus. We work with them, we invite them to our programs. We have discussion sessions with them. We talked about one yesterday time with ATL. Every month we have a topic, we go talk about it. We also work with radio stations not on campus. And then we work with the University of Ghana, the gender sector. At the moment, they are one of the public universities we really engage with a lot. And then we work with other institutions through our webinar series. I think one good thing that came out of the COVID pandemic was the initiation of the webinar series. So we couldn't meet face to face, but we met virtually, and it enabled us to reach a wider audience. Yes. So through these means, we've been able to achieve some visibility on the university campus. So what do we do? As I said, we have our programs. We have our sensitization workshops. What we mean by sensitization workshops are workshops that we organize for various groups of people, whether on campus or outside the university campus, to take them through some gender issues. Most people have no idea. When you talk about gender, they only think you're going to talk about women taking over the world. So we take people through some gender sensitization workshops. And then we also have what we call the Camp Life Template Orientation Workshop, which is organized for fresh students every year when they come to the university. So we take advantage of this platform during the orientation period to take them through how life on campus should be, how you are able to navigate the various experiences you meet on campus so that you come out a well-rounded individual. Your studies don't suffer, your social life don't suffer. Then we take advantage of this to also educate them on reproductive health issues, and then how to deal with sexual harassment on campus, among others. And then, as I said, we have our webinars where we partner with other universities to share ideas. Now, what are our partners? So, we work with lecturers and staff of the university. We work with university students. We also work with secondary school students. And we work with students who are, well, not students, but young people who are also out of school. We have young people who may have dropped out after secondary school, or even after junior secondary school, or others who have not even been to school at all. We work with them. We work with the local communities, and then many other groups. More often than not, as I said, because of these networks we work with, we get calls for people to, invitations from other institutions or other groups who want us to organize some training for them or have some workshop for them. So all these people are included. And as you said, once we work with them, then they go tell others about us, and then the baton keeps being passed on. So with this, we have increased visibility. So many people are getting to know us. Recently, about 2 months ago or so, we had a call from, so ATL's the FM station on campus, came to tell us that the Girls Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service in the Central Region, where our university is located, wanted us to organize some training session for the girl education officers. So in the various secondary schools or institutions, you'd have some teachers who are identified as girl education officers. They are in charge of all the gender issues on the various campuses. So they wanted a workshop. So through our network ATLFM, they contacted us, and the ATLFM helped us to sponsor, and then we had a workshop for them. Then we also received an invitation to do a collaborative research from the French embassy. We didn't go looking for it. They found us. So we asked them, how did you, get to know about us? I said, oh yeah, through your website, we found you. So that has been. Then we've been receiving other invitations from other organizations. So increasingly, we are being visible, and this is working for us. So, networks we are part of, UNFPA, we are also, we partner with DOFSU, which is the Domestic and I always forget this. It's the Department of Domestic Violence and Victims Support Units. It is a unit at the police, in the police service, which is dedicated solely to domestic violence and sexual assault issues. Yes. So we work with them a lot. We also work with the Ghana Education Service, especially through the Girls Education Office. We work with the Ministry of Gender. And then we have a host of NGOs that we also work with as and when the opportunity comes. UNFPA has been very helpful nowadays. We've done 3 projects with them so far, and one is in the works. So why are we part of gender equality networks? One, because these networks are also interested in what we do. And once we all have a common agenda, it helps in making our work very easy. So that is one reason why we believe in working with these networks. And then we are also able to provide training, learning, sensitization whenever the need comes, especially working with these networks. Let me give an example. So with the Ghana Education Service, it's very difficult to just get up and say, we are a gender center, we are interested in offering you this training, blah, blah. To be like, who are you? But if you go through the network, so for example, first with the Ministry of Gender, which was already working with these girls education officers, we went through them and said, okay, yeah, that's what we can also do. So they brought us on board, and then the reception was cordial, and we were able to work very well. So once you identify these needs, then you use our networks to get in there. And then we are able to get a lot of social mobility. Because as I said, you can't just go into a space where you are not known and welcomed. And especially where you work in a context where gender issues are misconstrued sometimes, it becomes difficult to go in there. So with these networks, we are able to go to places where ordinarily we wouldn't have gotten to. And then also they help us gain trust and access in the community. For example, UNFPA had already been working with various communities in the central region on issues to do with the young girls who are out of school. So they were working in some contests to provide some livelihood sustainability for these girls. And so they took us on board. They wanted us to document the programs they've been doing in the communities. And so it's very easy for us then to gain insight and access to these communities. And the communities trusted us because we were brought by people that they trusted. And then these networks also help us to mainstream gender issues wherever we find ourselves. Some of the success stories from our networking, I talked about the UNFPA funding for our adolescent workshop. So we organized this workshop in 2020 for students who had finished their secondary school and were about to enter the tertiary institutions. And then we also included young people who were out of school. And we gave them some training on reproductive health. And it was very, very welcoming. These are some of the pictures from the program. We had a lot of students, more than we could. This was one of our biggest auditorium, that is 900. It was very full, more than we could even do. And we had some teachers who also came along. Yeah, this The picture insert is the focal person at the Ministry of Gender. Through her network, she worked with us. And then we also had some teachers who came along, and this was one teacher who was very impressed with the program and called for more to be organized every year. Right. We also had a workshop for the Ghana Education Girls Education Officers, as I said. They came through the FM collaboration. So they came from the central region, and that day it was a rainy day, but they all made a point to be there. You know, and they were very happy. We had a wonderful time talking about issues to do with the girls in the schools and how best we could help them, you know, do their work very well, the challenges that they faced. So it was very interesting, and we started calling for more of such collaborations. So in the future, what do we want to do? There's a lot of work to be done as far as networking is concerned. As I said, when we look at currently what we are doing, one of the universities, the public universities we work with is the University of Ghana, but there are other universities in Ghana, and we want to extend our networks there. The University of Science and Technology in Kumasi, University of Development Studies, and we also want to expand the network we have in the University of Ghana, and then the University of Education, Winneba. We've had some interaction with them, but not as we want it to be. So we want to enhance all these collaborative projects and engagements. And then also we want to increase our social media presence on the internet so that we become more visible and we find other hidden networks. Because we know there are some networks that we haven't tapped into yet. And mostly sometimes we depend on our own personal engagements with other networks that's coming. So Amanda could be working with some NGO, some network somewhere, and then we should, this is a group we can work with, and then we do that. So we think there's a need for us to go looking out for all these other networks, so that in the near future, we'll be doing more than we have done, because we understand the importance of networking with others. So briefly, thank you.